Check one. Hello. Hello. Can y'all hear me out there? Nice. Should it be louder? Is it good? A little louder? Hello, hello, hello. Amazing. Oh my gosh. Thanks everyone for showing up. Yeah. It is the winter town hall meeting. We have a ton of stuff to get through. We're going to try to go pretty efficiently. And we had submitted questions that'll be at the end and then open discussion. But first, I just want to say thank you all for, truly our community and who Kickstand is in this room right now. So thank you so much for being here and continuing to participate in this nonprofit. So let's get into things. Will it work? Uh-oh. Oh, man. That would have been so sick. You want to just click back on across the screen to the right, off screen? Yeah. Click there. Yeah. Amazing. First thing first, we spent a lot of money on this controller, so I'm glad it works. Welcome, everyone. So we're going to go through this agenda. We'll have some year in review, leadership and staff reports and updates, submitted Q&A, open discussion, and then we're going to stay open for an open social hour. Obviously, this has been a crazy week, and there's a lot of community in this room, and if we want to talk and mix and mingle and learn from each other and hear how everyone's doing, that'd be awesome. And continue some of these conversations, as well as snacks and bevies. So that'll happen afterwards. And Kristen, you want to talk on testimonials?
Oh, yeah, just next door in Away Days, we set up a camera and people can answer a question about Kickstand. If you do decide to be on video, just fair warning, we might use it on social media. We may, so if you don't want to put yourself in that situation, we love your thoughts, but you don't have to put them on camera.
Yeah, you can also opt into my private collection of videos. So if you just want it to go nowhere, I can keep that too. All right. So first off, huge thank yous. Our community and volunteers. Give it up for our community and all of our amazing volunteers. They haul ass. You see them when they come in. They help in so many ways. Our board of directors, many of whom are right up here. Give it up for our board of directors. Our staff, and spoiler alert, new executive director, Paul Stein. Our new students, we can't exist without new students, so thanks for all the new students. Give it up for them. Our amazing donors, many of whom are in the room, many not. Thank you so much. You can clap for them, too. Directors and show producers, huge. New directors and show producers, give it up for them. They've been kicking butt. Our incredible house managers, Steph and James. That's right. And, of course, our performers, teachers, and very special shout-outs to Kat Hayes and Michael Zimmer, who not only volunteer their time, but do so in a part-time staff way. And then all of our awesome, large-scale donors and supporters, Travel Portland, Prosper Portland, Marie Lampron Foundation, and many, many more. But we'll get into that in a bit. Yeah, give it up for them. Oh, boy. We're turning 10 this December. Just out of curiosity, make some noise if you were able to go see the basement of a bike shop at any time, any shows there. Cool. Make some noise if you...
Explain what a basement of a bike shop is.
Oh, where we started. I'm
so sorry.
It
was this corner of the room.
Kickstand started in the basement of a bike shop. It was a very cool little weird space that we got to carve out, and it was the seed that has grown into this organization. How about... if you were at the Siren Theater when we were in the attic above the Siren. How about when we were downtown in the former Brody space? And make some noise if you've seen a show or hung out in this building. Oh, my gosh. Pretty incredible.
That should be everyone.
Let's take a look down memory lane. Here's recent stuff first. I don't know why I did that. That seemed anticlimactic. Oh, sorry. I don't know why I'm pointing at the screen. Yeah. A lot of great memories. There's all the different spaces. And here's some more. Oh, look at Shronk. Oh, I miss Shronk. And this brings us to our new venue, which everyone in this room has been part of really like bringing alive. It's growing, it's happening, and y'all are a big part of that. So thank you all for your service. Thank you for your service. I'm going to kick it over to Kristen to talk about the training center.
Yeah! What do you want to know? Okay, so training center is doing well. We've increased revenue, and it seems to be holding that way. So we're doing really good. We serve around around an average of 190 to 200 students per class session, and that includes workshops. Yeah, those are big numbers. Scholarships, we've been able to give more scholarships to students as the years go on. So you can see we gave about an average of 11 scholarships per session in 2023. And we're tracking for an average of 17 per session in 2024. So that's really cool. Yeah. And that's because we've been able to offer more classes across the board. And then our BIPOC program has grown. 114 students in 2023 throughout all of the sessions, an average of 22 students per session. And then in this year, an average of 33 per session, which is really amazing. People participating at any one time. And so really proud of that, and y'all helped make that happen. So thank you. And just final thing, if you're wondering what you can do to help the training center or Kickstand in general, talk to people about our classes. It's really great. And this session, we actually do need some more enrollment in our level 1 classes. So if you have a friend that's been on the edge and thinking about taking improv, maybe someone you don't think would ever consider it ever, tell them about classes. We would love to have them join our community here. And point them to the website. Do it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kristen, there's one more thing I think people might be interested in about Belmont.
Oh, right. Yeah. So a moment of silence for the Belmont spaces. We are probably not going to be using them anymore in the coming year. So we've talked to some neighbors here, and we're in conversation that is pretty far progressed with a space called the Apothecary Space. It's like catty corner to Lucky Lab, if you don't know it. It's like on 9th and Madison. It's really, really close. And they have 2 great spaces that we can use for classrooms and rehearsals. That's looking like it's going to move forward. So I'm
and
really
a big
excited.
thank you for everyone. Like, obviously, those spaces were never ideal, but they were cheap, and it was hard to find space. So we really appreciate everyone putting up with those spaces. Like, we heard you. We have really tried, and big thanks to Kristen and everyone who was working hard to find new spaces.
Yeah. Iggy actually pointed me to those spaces.
Yeah,
so
give
I
it
want
up
to
for
give
Iggy.
big credit goes to Iggy. Yeah.
All right, Kara, we're moving over to you. And I just realized we didn't really do intros. Why don't we just go down and say our name and what we do real quick?
Kat, I do fundraising and I'm on the board.
Tony, I'm on the board.
I'm Paul, and I'm going to be your new executive director.
Dylan, artistic director.
Kara, she, her, a programs director.
Oh, you don't need that. No, it's great. Kristen, she, her. I am the educational programs manager.
Tracy, she, her, and I'm on the board.
I'm Iggy, she, her. I'm on the board. Amanda, she, her. Board.
Oh, no, Wikipedia popped up. Get out of here. So what's going on with the venue? I have this in front of me because I don't want to do this. So you may have seen a lot of updates going on in the venue. That's me. If you hear screaming from the road, that's me. Uh, but cursing because I'm hitting myself with hammers and stuff. So we got a lot of curtain stuff done. I got a curtain there, curtain in the hallway, curtain in the peach room. I want to put a curtain in that back classroom as well. Got some signage up on the outside of the building. Yeah. My partner is an amateur sign painter, so call her for all your needs. And then we got
Just all of them.
Yes, all of your needs. She doesn't really get me, but maybe she'll get you. Yeah, and then I've got a lot more signage up around the space, and then posters, big poster board in that hallway there. If you have posters, I'd love for you to drop them in the booth rather than putting them up, so that we can decide where they go. So yeah, just drop them at the ticket booth, and then we'll put them up for you and make sure they get on the side of the window too. If you have bigger posters, that's better. A lot of people are handing out those little handbills, but even if you put it on like a regular sheet of, what is it, 8 by 11?
8.5.
Thank you. Whoa. Good work, John. Yeah, so even if you have that, that's better because it's bigger and more visual. Moving out of Belmont, toilet time. Yeah, well, that's fun. So the toilets, as we know, have been out of order for a while now. There is a tree root growing in a pipe that runs from the bathrooms to there. The plumbers came out, put a scope in, got it stuck, can't get it out. Yeah, I mean, it sounds hilarious if you're not the one organizing it. So that's happening. We're still in negotiations with the plumber and the landlord and all that stuff, but we're hoping to get it taken care of soon. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, next slide, please. So what's going on with that space next door? Away Days is officially out of there. They have moved. Visit them in Broadway. They're still going strong. We have been showing the space next door and the kitchen as well, and we've got some pretty good prospects for people moving in. And we're in negotiations with one group in particular that wants to activate in December. So, some good, tasty food that would happen over there, and then we'd have smaller bites in the kitchen. To come out and sell to customers. We also were awarded a matching grant for the renovations, but I will let Kat go into depth on that if she wants. That sounded bad. That's it from me.
If you're curious about the space next door, come make a video after.
Next slide, please. Okay, and the next one too. I just wanted to say thank you. So since June, we have raised $97,033 in major gifts. And keep those applause going for Amanda Keysberry. Who helped edit our grant that we got from the Relief Land Fund Foundation for $40,000. And just submitted a new grant on our behalf to the Multnomah County Cultural Coalition. But yeah, another big chunk of that represents $44,000 we got from Prosper Portland. Which is a business development organization, and funding comes from the city. So, yay. Next slide, please. We're in the gift guide. Next slide. Okay, so the way it works is that there's incentives. So everybody who gives gets a taco from Porque No. A gluten-free treat from Little Jim Bakery, and a bagel from Henry Higgins. So it's a $10 minimum donation, and you get all of that. And then, next slide, there are big give days. And these are really cool prizes. Like, for example, the big books day is a $500 gift certificate to Powell's Books. And any donation of $10 or more will get you entered to win one of those prizes. And next slide. And I also want to point out Big Music Day, you get 2 free passes to Pickathon. And there are 6 chances to win that. So you'll be seeing a lot of communication about this. We could really use your help every time people like share it or forward the email or whatever. Like, we get more donations. We'll send one out every single big give day, and then towards the end of the year on the last day as well, because giving ends in the Give Guide at midnight on December 31st. Also, if you are under 35, you can get an extra chance to win some of those big give days. And Kickstand Comedy can win an extra $1,000 if we have the most under 35 donors. And while that doesn't describe me, I think it does describe
You
lot of
have to
you.
give because we can't.
But if you are over 35, you can still give.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Sorry, Kat. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just giveguide.org/kickstandcomedy. And this week we also have a special incentive where Oscar works. They're giving us a 5-session acupuncture also to give to anybody who gives this Wednesday.
All right, thanks. And give it up one more time for Kat for all the amazing work Kat does. So we're going to get some updates from the board of directors. We are going to follow up with a more in-depth financial update. Matthew, our board president, is out of town right now, but he's going to come back, get together with Rochelle, who is also, well, say hi to Rochelle, who's in the back, who snuck in. Rochelle, also a board member. So we'll be putting out some more information that's more in-depth on financials. But right now, we can talk about, again, here's some of the challenges, balancing venue activations between shows and classes, and then our classes are the major breadwinner. Service hours hinder bar sales, need to increase show attendance, and that's really the big underlying one. The broad strokes of this is we're doing okay, we're still struggling. The big thing is just getting more people to these shows. Last month was awesome. Let's keep the trends continuing. The more we continue to put out awesome work of the quality that we've been doing, and the more we get the word out and work together to help strengthen our just visibility and marketing, the better. It's going to be part on us. It's going to be part on our community. But that's the big I think pin that we need to, like, the bridge we need to cross is how do we get all the people at Comedy in the Park to come to the shows in here? So that's kind of the big question in the air. And like I said, yeah, we'll get more information on more in-depth financials that we're going to send out more broadly, and Matthew is going to be helping us with that. Let's talk about our amazing board of directors. Give it up for Brad, Tony, Matthew, Rochelle, Amanda, Tracy, and Kat. And what? Oh, and Iggy. Oh, no. I didn't get Iggy. I'm so sorry. Iggy is here in person. This is my fault. Iggy
It's
is
Iggy's
awesome.
face.
I knew, I was like looking through and I was like, there's something wrong about this. So we're going to give it over to the board now. And we have committees up. They can talk as much or as little as they want about what's going on in board land.
Anybody?
The boy.
I do have a microphone.
Yeah, or even just like what committees and just anything a little bit about so people can get to know what our board does.
By committee or
I think I am. Iggy's reminding me what committees I'm on. Financial oversight, community equity and volunteer, and marketing and outreach. That's me. If you have questions about those things, I'll do my best to help you out. I'm Tracy. It's right up there. It's with the hair. It's more hair.
That is a good picture of you up there, by the way. I'm Iggy. I don't have a photo up there, and I'm okay with that. It's okay. That's awesome. I am on the Community Equity and Volunteer Committee, the Venue Committee, and the Governance and Operations Committees. I would love to talk about all those things and answer questions if I can.
Okay, I'll say a little more than that. Yeah, so I'm on the development committee, so we get together, we chat about, hey, let's raise some more money. And then we write grants together, and we sometimes get those, and so we get more money. For community equity and volunteer, just chatting about how to improve all of those aspects of Kickstand. So making sure our volunteers feel supported, the whole community feels supported. That one, I'll be honest, has only met once so far, but we're still trying to kick it into gear, and that will be one that we definitely want to have the community involved in, because that would make a lot of sense. So yeah, keep an eye out for hearing from us about joining that. And then on the venue committee, and we talk about all the things that need to get updated and who needs to go in away days. Yeah.
I'm Tony again, and I'm part of the governance and operations committee and the marketing and outreach. And so, basically, with governance and operations, it's like, what do we do? How do we do what we do, and how do we kind of help fine-tune that and make it better, and so that the entirety of the organization is running it a little bit smoothly. So we offer a lot of support around that. And then with marketing and outreach, it's all things communications. What's the brand? What's the story of Kickstand, which all of you are a part of? How do we communicate that out to the larger public, and do things like help you give the word out to Give Guide. So that's what we do.
I just want to shout out our board. They have been real incredible mentors for us. They have been incredibly supportive. Their guidance, I think, especially in the last half a year and extending before that, has been invaluable. And they do it all volunteer. So give our board a really big round of applause.
Yes. We're very lucky. If any of those committees sounded like something you'd like to get involved with or interested, please email us, info@kickstandcomedy.org. We're definitely looking for more community members to get involved. All right. Show programming and Comedy in the Park updates. This will be pretty quick. We had a really great year. It was awesome. I saw a lot of your faces out at Comedy in the Park. And thanks to all our volunteers at Comedy in the Park. That was really incredible how many people helped out. Give them a round of applause. They really couldn't do without them. I couldn't find where the total cash donations were, but we made $20,000 in Venmo donations. And I would say we're probably around 15 to 20K in cash donations as well. So that almost entirely covered our cost of putting this on, which is awesome. We're continuing to hope for more sponsorship in the coming years. If we can do that, this can be a real driver of helping set us up financially year to year because of how much attention it gets. We had over 45,000 audience members over 11 shows. Yeah, pretty impressive. We had over 100+ local and national comedians who got to perform on the show. It was really exciting. Introduced Portland to maybe their new favorite comics. And we launched our first 2-day Comedy in the Park Fest, which was cool and a learning process, but mostly very great. And then we raised over $35K in grant funding to support the Kickstand Comedy in the Park program. And give it up one more time for Kat. Amen. And this is our cool Comedy in the Park logo. We're going to either continue it or update it year to year. But it's a a cool dog that I changed it from a trench coat because it was weird when it looked like the dog was a flasher, but now the dog's cool because it's got sunglasses. Give it up for all the amazing shows you've been a part of. This is a mere sampler of some of the great shows that have happened over the last 6 months. Some amazing stuff that came on this stage, thanks to you. And here's some show sales by month. And so we're hoping to get all these numbers up, but I think it's interesting and for transparency for people to see the different numbers by month. And like I said, October was a great pre-sales month. It's the most we've ever had. We're hoping to continue those trends. And thanks to all the cool shows and ideas that you pitched, produced, put up. It was great.
I also just very quickly want to celebrate the students who did the class shows earlier this week. Yeah. They were full in a time that was maybe really difficult to think about comedy. The students showed up and they made people laugh. It was amazing. And all of them had incredible shows. So I just wanted to quickly tag that.
Hell yeah. And we're rolling out a bunch of 10-year anniversary programming. It's going to be fun. We're going to celebrate everything Kickstand is, where we've been, where we're going, and where we are now. We're going to have a bunch of legacy shows and teams, a new cage match show called the Kickstucky Derby. So this is going to be a yearly cage match show, very friendly, that every year all of our Velodrome and Big Dogs teams will then have a kind of round-robin tournament. Someone's going to win the Kickstucky Derby every year, and we're going to have a trophy that your name goes on as a team. We're thinking a bike wheel so that we can put your team picture on a Polaroid in the spokes. And it will live somewhere in the space so you can see it year to year and reminisce about all the amazing teams you once saw. So, yeah, there's showcases, best ofs, cage matches, and visiting artists. We're really excited to announce that Holy Shit is coming back. Holy Shit Improv is coming back for the 10-year. We will have Casey Faye, Will Hines, Rekha Shankar, and Ronnie Adrian coming out. So it should be very fun. We're going to have Alex Falcone and Bree Pruitt, who were two of the original Earthquake Hurricane hosts, which was our kind of flagship stand-up show. They'll be coming back to help out as well. And we have a couple other calls out. We're going to see. It depends on availability, but we might have a couple other fun guests as well. And yeah, I won't go through everything, but that's the cliff notes. We will have the full schedule out. And shout out to Melissa Russell for creating our new 10-year anniversary logo, which we'll be unveiling pretty soon. I don't have it here in front of you, so I'm sorry. But I promise you'll see it soon. It's really fun. Cool. Anything else on 10-year? Anybody had? All right. I'm going to pass it over to Paul and give it up to our new executive director, Paul Stein.
Hi, everyone. I am so thankful and appreciative to be part of your community and to be offered this opportunity. And I can't thank the board enough for reaching out to me. Thank you so much. And I'd also like to say thank you to these people that have been running this theater for so long. It is really a hard, hard job to run any small business, but especially trying to run a live theater. And my first week started last week, and they go, hey, the toilets don't work. So that was my first week. So welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So I wrote some things down. I'm very quickly. That's why I always work off outlines for people who know me. So very quickly, I'm so excited to do this position. I'm so excited to be offered by this. For those who don't know me, I've been here in Portland for 3 years. I started by teaching some workshops. That's how I got introduced through Kickstand, through Carla Kakowski, for some of you who know, who introduced me to Dylan, and I taught a workshop. And then for the last year, I've been teaching the sketch program here, and we've done all 3 levels. And then I've directed some shows the last 2 years, and some of you people are in this room that I directed. So for those who also don't know, I worked for Comedy Central for 17 years. I was an executive producer of a live theater, development theater for them. I did everything from programming to booking to scheduling to marketing to
fixing the toilets?
No, I did not have to fix the toilets. That was not in my contract. I did have to do contracts. I did have to do talent relationships. I did have to do budgeting. I did have to do financials. but I never had to fix the toilets, thank goodness. Dealing with industry. And before with Comedy Central, I had worked for HBO and HBO Comedy, where I had worked for them for 7 years, and I worked in their festivals in Aspen and Las Vegas, and I was a talent coordinator on the West Coast for over a year. So that's a little bit of my background of what I did before and my experiences. So what is the position? What is executive director, just so you know, right? It was offered to me by the board to oversee financial, operational, educational, and programming needs of this institution. I will collaborate and offer guidance to this staff here. I'm a bridge between the board of directors and the staff and to all of you. So, teachers, students, performers, if you have questions, concerns, needs about this theater, please talk to me. I will be that bridge to talk to the board to see what we can get done and what needs to get done for all of you. Here are my goals. So for this theater, we need sustainability, growth, and brand awareness. What does that mean? I am staying up at night thinking about how do we keep the lights on? How do we keep the doors open, right? We don't want this place to close. I don't want this place to close. So finding new revenue streams, finding ways that we can get more people here, finding ways that we can be sustainable to eventually buy this building. Finding ways that we can have a working kitchen and rent it out. Finding ways where we can have somebody next door with a tap room or some type of maker space that we can get revenue for there. That is what we need to do. For growth, can we expand? More classes, more students, more shows. How do we get you performing on these stages? If you need roadmap, or paths to find that, that's what we need to offer. And to help you to put your own shows here. And brand awareness. It's about building fans. You have to have fans. People that are willing to talk about us. Everyone in this room are fans because of the work that you've done and your commitment to this space. We need more people to know about this space. Carla Kakowski was a fan. She said, if you're moving to Portland, call Dylan. That's what she said.
She said, don't talk to Kara.
Unless you buy her coffee. She was a fan of this place. She was a fan. And that's how we get more people here. And that is my goal. What is my goal for all of you, the community? I want to uphold this theater's mission. I want to maintain a venue that is inviting for audiences and inclusive to all. I want to offer roadmaps on how to succeed. How do you move farther? How do you move with a show? How do you move and try to get things what you want? I want to create a professional and fun atmosphere for both artists and audiences. Let's focus programming on 2 areas. How do we get more people in this building, right? We have to reach out for the general audiences, and we need it for development. We need our class shows to develop a little bit more so people feel more confident. They need opportunities. The theater I ran in Comedy Central was a development space. We did 100 shows a year. I worked there for 17 years. It was all for talent relations and talent development. I saw people got better because they were given opportunities to perform on the stage. That's what it's about. I want to encourage the next group of artists that want to lead Kickstand for the next 10 years. This is not my retirement job. My plan is 18 months to 24 months. That's what I'm going to do. Because this theater ultimately needs leadership that represents the community it serves. I'm a middle-aged white guy, right? I am. I have experience and knowledge that I'm bringing to all of you. I have the passion of comedy, and I enjoy what you people are doing, all of you are doing. I want to be a part of that. But I want the next group of artists to run this business, to run this theater, to bring it here. And I want to help if I can bridge that. And whoever wants to do that, please come to me and let's talk. Right? Seriously, let's talk. So why am I doing this? Why am I doing this job? I started out as a stage manager in a booth, and I teched over 1,000 shows. And I said, I want to do what they do on stage. I want to be a director and producer. Some of my happiest moments in life have been being in a theater watching something that happens for that night with a group of people. It's even more precious when it's improv and then it's just that one night and it goes away. I can tell you how enjoyable Chris Williams and Laura Sinner was doing for the duets night, where they staggered chairs and looking over the Grand Canyon. But you know what? You had to be there. You had to be there, Chris. And I was there. That's why I love the theater. That's why I love doing all this, right? I really enjoy working on large projects, creating productions, overseeing groups, building together. We are a team in this room. We have to be a team together and strong together. And now more than ever, especially with this climate and landscape that we're in, we have to, whatever side you're on, we have to work together collectively and bring some laughs, right? So what can you do? What can you do? We have to build fans. So is a Give Guide. If you just let 2 people know, hey, we're in Give Guide, this is my home, this is where I teach, this is where I perform, this is where I'm a student, let people know. If you need help crafting an email or an Instagram post, I'll help you with that. I have something that I'll be happy to send to you. But it should come from the heart. It should be personal. Why is this place important to you? I can tell you why this place is important to me, right? And I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be writing that to people. We need to raise revenue and sponsorships, so if anybody has any rich uncles, now is the time, right? We need help with kill them, I don't know. We need help with social media. If you have an idea for a show, if you have an idea for a class, talk to me, talk to us. I want to hear from all of you. I want to get to meet all of you. So text me, email me. Let's set up coffee meetings. Talk to me. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes. But we're going to pivot when we make mistakes. We're going to figure out this damn toilet. Right?
Yeah!
Yes, we can.
And I want you to get to help. I've been here for 3 years. I'm starting to get to know Portland. I want you to help me get to know Portland. What makes this city special? What makes all of you special? And finally, the last thing I'll just say is this. All of this cannot happen without you, right? The artists, the teachers, the students. This place doesn't happen without you. If it doesn't, then it's just a building, right? It's just a building. It won't come alive with all of you. So, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. Keep it going for Paul. We have needed an executive director and someone like Paul for a long time, and it just is pretty magical that it's happening now. It makes me really excited for the future. So we're coming up on 10 years, and one of the reasons this makes me really excited to have Paul coming on is I've made the decision to start transitioning out as artistic director. And I love this place, obviously. I love all of you. It's just the right time, and I have a slide for it. It wasn't a big setup, but it's true. And yeah, we need a lot of help and a lot of support, and we are moving in the direction of the right people to really get this into shape. I've been so honored to be a part of this process from the beginning, and to be working with all of you and everyone here. And every year I was like, well, I'll just wait till we get to the Brody, and then it'll be okay, and then I'll roll off. And it's like, okay, well, then the pandemic happens. And it's like there's always a timeline. And so this is just the right time. You know, I've been, you know, a little burnt out the last 6 months or so. And I'm just ready for my next challenge. And the reality is we just need someone coming in as AD, like Paul was saying in the long term. I want someone to come in who is hungry, has ideas, has a different background than myself. We can start continuing to move this theater in the direction of the community it's serving. I feel very like we've positioned ourselves incredibly well for that. My hope is that I'm going to stay on as a volunteer through January. So my last day was last Friday, as a full-time staff member. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be around. I'm going to be helping out. And I'll be continuing to function in all of the like booking and promotions with Michael Zimmer and the programming team, the 10-year anniversary, helping out with all that, continuing to help with community partnerships and sponsors and marketing and social media, but all of the other tasks we're going to start to move onto other people's plates. I just, this space and this place, the idea was just to create somewhere where you could fail. Like that was the idea, was just we needed a place where we could experiment, we could try things out, and it's just grown into this community of people who are helping us continue and amplify our mission and just really make undeniable comedy by just bringing your lived experience to this stage. I just feel very lucky to have gotten to be a small part in all of the lives in this space, and I feel very lucky that you've been in mine. And so we'll reevaluate in January, but I just wanted to say thank you to everyone, and I'm excited to see where we go in the next 10 years. So thank you. Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, well, let's move on. Hey, we have a Coin AM show every Wednesday morning and X-Ray FM radio show. And if you'd like to be a part, you should. Thea, give it up for Thea. Where's Thea at? Thea has been helping us shape our X-Ray show. If you want to do a character, if you want to co-host, you should do it. It's really fun. It's a different skill. And Thea's really building such a fun space to do that. It's kind of like a Aardvark hour, or Aardvark show. We have characters, we have co-hosts, we talk about current events and mostly like food and bad movies. It's really fun. And if you're promoting a show, we have this great Wednesday morning segment every Wednesday on Coin AM Extra. Either I go and recommend shows, so if you have a show of yours that you'd like me to recommend, make sure I know about it. And I can make sure that, like, I can set up segments too. So this Wednesday, where's Justin? Justin and Naomi are going to be talking about the new Layoffs show on Wednesday, which is a new director run that's coming to the stage soon. So just reminding people about that. And I'm going to turn it over to Michael Zimmer for some more programming updates. Give it up for Michael.
Hey, tough act to follow, am I right? We've got auditions coming up again in January. We'll get those signups up in December. So we're going to have individual auditions January 5th and January 11th. So we have 2 weekends to spread them across. So hopefully most people can make those dates. Team auditions will be held as Best in Show like we did last time. So we really enjoyed having auditions as a show. It creates a good energy, get a crowd to come and support you. So we are going to be making some adjustments to kind of requirements for different opportunities. We haven't quite landed on those. Before we just kind of said, no requirements, but it's auditions. There's always a little bit of requirements. So we're just going to define that a bit soon. And all that information will be out when audition information goes out. So just to review, we have the Friday show runs. Those have been going really well. We've had Layoffs, Spill and Chill, and House Party. Those have been really fun. We haven't debriefed on those yet, so we haven't really figured out if we're going to adjust anything on those. But for right now, we're still taking pitches from faculty, directors for those. It's still a very fresh kind of program, but those have been going well. Herald skill teams. Let's give it up for all our performers. Yeah. Friday show runs, Herald skill teams. Herald skill teams, again, this is a place to develop. This is a time to just really hit it hard. Weekly rehearsals, regular shows. It's meant to be a jumping off point, right? It's a place to develop and then go fly free. So it's an intensive that we're offering for people going through classes. So the Colt, aka Tourco, we've after last time we kind of reimagined that as kind of more faculty ensemble with a few spots available from the community. So we are going to be launching our new Armando show in a couple weeks called The Big One, where we try and get some fun guests from the community to be storytellers. If you know any famous or interesting people, let me know so I can book them. Secret Aardvark, we're still doing that. We might make some adjustments. We haven't decided yet exactly what that looks like, so I'm not going to say anything concrete, but we're just looking at frequency and, some other stuff. Velodrome anchor teams, this has been going great. We give it up for Velodrome anchor teams. We love them. This is another spot for teams to develop, host a show, do a little producing by booking another team. I think that's been a really successful model for helping teams grow. And then Big Dogs, we're going to also take a look at that. It's been going great, but I think, we just, like all of our programming, we're just constantly revisiting, reimagining, and Paul's going to offer some really great insight into how we can keep building towards all those goals he mentioned. Next slide. So more programming goals, update our co-production profit sharing model, continue to work towards more equity to producers. We know it takes a lot of work to create a show. It takes even more work to create a successful show. And while money isn't the driving force for everyone, it is another thing you need to market your show, to create materials, to book guests. So we want to make sure people have what they need. We're going to be transitioning to a new ticketing platform called Fourth Wall Tickets. It's just a way better platform than Merc Tickets. It will integrate into our website. There will be fewer mistakes where it says one thing on our website calendar, another thing on the ticket page. It's a lot of work right now using the system that we have. And that's also going to be used for classes, so it's going to make Kristen less stressed out because it's nice and simple. It was created by people who worked at improv theaters for improv theaters. It's really nice. If you ever produce an indie show somewhere, you can use this platform. They only charge you per ticket that sold. So look into it if you want to just pop up a show somewhere. Co-production road mapping. Paul touched on this a little bit. We just want to have a really clear process. Right now, Dylan and I are doing our best. When shows come to us, we try to make good judgment calls and try to support these shows. But to a lot of people, it's really mysterious of okay, how do I get a monthly slot at Kickstand? It's not really clear right now. We admit that. And we're always happy to talk through things and help you figure that out. But we could also use some more structure there. Development slots. This is something we've been wanting to do. That's just, again, it's a lot of process and our capacity for how much we're able to do right now. But we want to have low risk, shorter slots for shows to workshop, gain feedback, and just have the freedom to fail. These co-production models, you have to put a little money in. You got to get audiences out. That's a lot of pressure and a lot of work, but and that's not always the best place to develop an idea. So we want to have more opportunities for that. And just Dylan and I do a lot. So we want to open up to more of the community for people who want to take some ownership and really help out. We're seeking producers for Velodrome and Secret Aardvark just to be the go-to person to kind of organize things, champion that show. We haven't had we're spread pretty thin, so we want all our shows to succeed. So sometimes our community shows kind of take the back seat because they're running well, but they could always do better. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I can talk to you a little more about what that looks like. And there's no reason people can't co-produce. It doesn't have to be a one-man band operation. Next slide. Yeah, pitch us a show. Just wanted to revisit this. This hasn't changed much from our last town hall, but we have a form on the website. You can submit a show, and then we'll follow up with you, set up a meeting, talk through the idea, and we'll get it on the schedule if we think it's ready for the stage. All of the information is in the form as far as like how we structure things, kind of what we're looking for, but it's reiterated here. So uniqueness, equity, investment in community, these are all things we're looking at. Right now, we ask for a $150 deposit. And it's not really a deposit, it's a fee. And that just covers our butts, really, to make sure that Kickstand isn't eating the cost. So after that, it's all 50-50 split for tickets. I always like to give some perspective on this. Like, to rent a venue anywhere in Portland, you're spending at least $350 for the night. That doesn't include ticketing. That doesn't include your tech. That doesn't include drinks, selling drinks or anything. Or if it does, you're not getting that money back. So what we offer and keeping ticket prices low, you're probably not going to make a ton of money producing a show. But if you can build that show up and get a good fan base and get that going, you can make a little money. And that's kind of part of what we're looking to adjust for future financial models is how do we share a little more in those profits and still maintain our space and still remain in good financial standing.
Yeah, I wanted to just piggyback on that. We're shifting. What we had been doing is here's the guarantee, the staffing and admin fee, and then we're also going to have 50-50 ticket split. Where we're moving toward is a number that's just the guarantee that is part of the ticket split. So basically, Kickstand can cover, like, as long you're going to have a $200 minimum, basically. So that means we might, if we're a ticket split of 50-50, you'd have to, sell $400 worth of tickets. But it is going to cover your butt and cover our butt. But instead of it being this and that, it's going to be one thing. So it's like this amount is the minimum. Kickstand always gets covered in that way. But it's still working towards your 50-50 split. So we'll have it on paper because talking about it is difficult to understand because I'm not good at math. So more rolling out of that this year.
Yeah, a lot of that is just figuring out how much money do we need up front. There's just a lot of process stuff that we're still ironing out, and we want to make sure that's super clear before we talk about it, which is, Anything else after this? What's the next slide?
I think we're going to how our community can help.
Yeah. So that's it for me.
Give it up for Michael.
I felt like I didn't do a great job of describing why I'm excited to be up here. I kind of punted, which wasn't cool. So I'm Tracy Biebel. I've been excited to be in the improv community here in Portland for a long time, and I've been really excited about getting to be part of Kickstand for a long time. I love this place. Like, I get choked up. And so I was super excited to be able to have the time and energy to get to give back to Kickstand in a way to be able to be supportive when I'm not here doing this stuff. In my professional life, I'm a clinical social worker, so I'm a therapist in private practice, but I also help other small businesses do some small business development, and I also help some different small businesses in town with HR type issues. So those are some of the things that I was excited about being able to bring to Kickstand and be able to support this community in that way. And I'm super excited, like, looking around at the other people I get to do this with, like, I get jazzed. Like, it's just, I feel so lucky. So I felt like I punted, and I didn't actually say why I'm up here and what I'm excited about. So there's that.
One thing that occurred to me pretty early on in the meeting that we didn't get to cover is a way that you can help Kickstand. We've been doing a bunch of corporate workshops around town. Actually, a lot of them in the medical space, which is really interesting. But if you have a business that you think could use a team building workshop, bring us there or have them come here. We can do a show for them. We can do a bespoke training for them. Please contact us. This is really the best way to help Kickstand start building relationships with other businesses in the community. And I think you all are here as a testament to the power of what improv can do. What we do up here on stage is pretty silly, but it's also really important, and it can really help teams. So if you have a business that you think would benefit from that, please reach out. Let me know, because as part of the training center, I would coordinate that. Yeah.
Awesome. Did you want to do the community help, or we're at halfway? So maybe why don't we like stretch while Kara goes over the community help, so we can stand up and move our bodies a little bit. You know, why not? It's nice.
This doesn't seem weird at all. Let's see. How can our community help? Stretch. Volunteer with Kickstand Pit Crew, or for one of the opportunities, and please commit. Yeah. Woo! We love our volunteers. Sometimes volunteers don't show up, and then we have to run the night alone, and that's terrifying. Sometimes the house manager can get stuck doing ticketing and bar and house managing, and that can be really rough. So we just ask that you, if you all are volunteering, communicate in a timely manner so we can get coverage. Volunteers, you are, not to be cheesy, the backbone of this organization, so thank you. Tell a friend about classes. Get more fun people involved in our community, because none of us are fun. We are looking for additional house managers. Subs would be great. Our house manager, Steph, has had a family emergency. She's coming back, but right now we need help covering. It is a paid job. It will not be 20 hours a week. It will not be 40 hours a week, but it does help us out, and it is paid. So if you or someone you know would be interested in that, give us their contact info. Yeah. Boop, boop, boop. Got an idea? Can you help make it happen? We're low on resources, but very open to help that's sustainable. Yeah. Can you give any examples of that?
Yeah, like we had people help out with the signs. We had people help out with painting. Like we have people pitching us, hey, I could help with this specific process and run with it. Toilets, if you know how to plumb a toilet. The clock, yeah, the clock was a very specific project that helps us see how much time we're using on stage.
Oh, gotcha. We just, all our board members, as Tracy was just saying, a bit about her background. All our board members have very, specific backgrounds that help us a lot. And so if you have a background in, math, because Dylan and I and Kristen suck at it, that'd be great. Anyway, boop, boop, boo. What? Did I hit everything? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Good night, mic drop. Just kidding.
All right, we're going to move on to community questions and feedback. These were all the questions that we received from the RSVP and questions forum. So how it's going to work, I'm going to read the question. Whoever answers it will answer it, or I will say, hey, I think we answered that already in the presentation. I need y'all to say okay or no, or clarify. But if we get an okay that we already answered that in the presentation so far, we'll keep moving. Like I said, we're about the halfway point. We have a decent amount of questions, but we're going to try our best to answer all of them. How close are we to building ownership? Not very. That was supposed to be a big laugh line. So we just are getting to sustainability first. We have a really great roadmap that Kat has been working on. We're still kind of in the silent phase of that, where we're trying to get our larger donors in place before we go public with the campaign. So that's does that answer that question? Great. What's the current plan for away days? Do we feel like that was answered? and the auxiliary space over there that we're in negotiations with people to come in, and we might have food as early as December. Great. Awesome. Can teams audition to be a Herald team, or will Herald teams always be created from individual auditions? Are there term limits to how many consecutive times teams can host Velodrome Big Dogs until they have to take time off to free up more room for other teams? So for the first half of that question, yes, a team can audition and put Herald team as the thing they're auditioning for. So it has happened before, and we hope it happens again. As for the term limits, we don't currently have that as part of our process. We don't currently have a roll-off. The idea was Herald teams lead you to Velodrome teams. Velodromes lead you to Big Dogs teams. Big Dogs teams. Then at some point, you would just want to make your own show and bring your fans with you. So we don't have anything. If you have a pitch, we're down to hear it. If there's a pain point or a reason to update policies, we're super down. Does that answer that? Great. Can we get a clear contact list, names and emails of who to contact about what kind of questions? This comes up. Kara, do you want to speak to it?
I have been trying to update the contact us page, so there's a staff directory list there, and there's also frequently asked questions. We are working on getting a booking at kickstandcomedy.org. There's been a hiccup with it. We're working it out. And then there is a list of questions and who to contact about what, and these are all email addresses.
Great. And if there's anything that's missing, if you're like, hey, I didn't know who to reach out, if you email info@ and let us know, that would be super helpful. And we'll figure out how to make that more clear. Does that answer that? Any other questions on that? Great. Is there a policy around social media posts and comments about the theater or people within the theater community done by students, teachers, board members, and other Kickstand theater employees? We do not have a policy around people commenting or posting on our media, on social media. Just that everyone who interacts with us is beholden to, from our community, the harassment policy and community, and if there's something came up, it would be handled through the community accountability policy. But I was hoping to get maybe a little more information if there was something else that I'm not sure if I was fully understanding the question, but does that feel like it? The answer is no, we don't have a policy around people commenting on our posts. Great. So if you see or are interacting with someone and you feel like there is a issue, that you would then use the community accountability policy. Great. Okay. It's okay if you did, Natalie. No, I'm just kidding. Cool. Yeah. And if there is a need for an updated policy, we'd love to hear more. Does that feel like an answer to that? Great. Is there any plan to move the BIPOC program and scholarships into all levels or differing class formats? How can the non-BIPOC classes showcase support and acknowledgement in the spaces they occupy? Currently, it feels separate but equal, and the norm isn't being challenged. Kristen, do you want to speak to this one?
I can speak to it a little bit. Currently, our program supports affinity spaces for BIPOC identifying people levels 1 to 3. And we have the resources for that in terms of our teaching staff right now. We need to develop more teaching staff for the BIPOC program, and we're in the process of, trying to, if you're excited about that, you're a member of our community, please reach out to me to see if you can, you want to be on a teaching track here. And then following levels 1 to 3, any member of the BIPOC program can take any of our classes through level 6, pay what you want. But in addition to that, anyone at any time is free to sign up for any one of our classes. So we have people in all of our level 1 classes across all kinds of, experience. So I wasn't exactly sure what else this question wanted to know, but that's like sort of the structure of our BIPOC program, and we are always looking to continue it, but we need more resources. We need funding for the program, and we need more teachers for the program. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, we're really open to ideas too. If there's something, if the person who asked this question, or if anyone has other ideas of ways to continue to support, the big thing is we would love to have a program coordinator for our BIPOC improv program. We don't currently have one. And the other thing is, or the other part of what our current program is when we helped start to develop it with Construct the Present, which was our equity audit organization that we've been working with. Their recommendation was a point where the BIPOC cohort program and our core improv program converged. So we're welcome to reinvestigate or relook at it. But the goal, I agree, is how can we continue to really support and amplify. And I'm not sure if did anyone else get. Is there a question anyone else has, or is there something we haven't answered, or something that you'd like to learn more about that this question inspires or sparks? Yeah, Naomi.
I think the part about like how can we all amplify and support the BIPOC program, like I think that piece I would love to drill down into.
Awesome.
Just because I have students asking me all the time. I teach Gen Pop classes too, so yeah, I would love like a short list of here's how you can support that.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that would be great. I would love that, and if we can work on some resources, and the goal would be to have something listed on the website for like a roadmap that Paul, obviously is helping to push forward. But yeah, I would love to. Let's talk more after and figure something out. Any other questions on this topic? Or cool, awesome. Moving on. Applying for Velodrome or other shows seem to so hit or miss. Responses are rare. While I understand how busy everyone is, will the process to perform at KS be more transparent? And yes, the answer is we are hoping to move more towards that, as Michael addressed, and Paul is going to help us audit the roadmap. Right now, we have a great process for our audition shows. There's a feedback route. But in terms of performance opportunities on existing shows that aren't audition positions, we can do better to figure out more ways to be transparent and have more touch points for feedback. So thank you for that, and hopefully we can get more information in the next couple months. Is there does that feel like a good start to that answer? Awesome.
I just want to say, in the meantime, it's me in the booth. We do have a submission form for Velodrome that feeds into that all the anchor teams access for booking. It is there are limited slots on that show, so as the booker, I've tried to get as many teams involved as I can, but it is finite. So I appreciate everyone's patience, and that form is also not easy to find. I admit that, but I am always willing to share it, and I've spread it out to our faculty and other places. But it's one of those things we haven't done the best job messaging on.
And this is a good point to talk about. So since our last town hall, we talked about how can we centralize communications. We've been working on two options, and the one that's the furthest along is Bradford is talking with, who's a community member, who's very knowledgeable, is talking about how we would implement WhatsApp communities. So this is the current project that we're seeing to make sure that it's viable, but the goal would be that we would all be on a WhatsApp community together, and that's where you could centralize information about auditions, about community, hey, I saw this show. So it would kind of be like a Discord, but easier to use was the idea, and that it would live on your phone. So we'll try to update more that way as well. Are you all planning to keep the same options for the next round of auditions? More or less. Some small adjustments, but we're going to, again, iterate our processes if we had a way to improve them in the auditions. But other than that, it's going to be pretty similar, where we have teams auditioning and individual auditions. Does that answer that? Great. What do you see as the key factors in building national recognition for the Portland improv scene? Paul, you want to take this one?
Yeah, I'd like to take that. Well, I think I've seen some talent and some shows on this stage that can play anywhere. And I think we need to let people know that. I was in LA this past weekend. I met with 6 comedy theaters, and I was talking about Kickstand, and they were like, we want to help. So I can't promise anything, but I think we're bringing talent up here. Why aren't we sending talent there? So I want to try to get theater swaps and start talking to theaters to see if we can make that happen. So that's something I think that's really important. If some of you, I know that you've applied for festivals and contests and groups and stuff, I would receive at Comedy Central 20 to 30 submissions a month. So I can tell you, so if you need help with those submission guidelines, I'm happy to sit down with you, or you have questions for me, what they're looking for, what the needs are, how you can make your application stand out. I could just give you some tips on something that when I was having to do that was really important to me. I think if there's teachers that have specialties that want to do workshops or something, can we contact other theaters? Can we talk to Rise in Denver? Can we talk to Dad's Garage? Can we talk to theaters in San Diego? Can we get you there to spread the word? We've heard that, like, when, you know, Holy Shit comes, they're like, hey, we love it here, and we tell everybody there, but we're not there, right? We got to get you guys there. Hopefully, maybe we should start a festival. We need a festival. That takes a lot of work, that takes a lot of plans, but we need to say, what kind of festival? What do we want to do? What can we put out there? What type of festival is important for us? What speaks for Portland? I know when I was in LA, and when Bridgetown was here, every comic in LA begged, borrowed, and asked their agent, can I get on that festival? That festival meant something to everybody in LA. And it really was the Pacific Northwest of LA. Everybody tried to get up there. So can we create a festival here that will make national recognition? And then the other thing is, right, is about fans. I got to knock on Oregon Public Radio. I got to knock on Oregon Live. I got to knock on Willamette Weekly. We have to have more people talking about us to get that national brand. It's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take working with sponsors. We have a great tentpole event of Comedy in the Park. We have to continue to build on that and get more faces out there and really enjoy it and highlight the Portland comics that are here. So does that answer?
Yeah, and I'll add too that it's not just the like the awesome performers. It's not just the like improv or stand up, but it's also the show. Like if we develop shows that have fan bases, that is a key to touring. If it's not just that like we're an awesome improv team, but like we have a show that does a thing that people want to see. And the more we can do that, so when you're thinking about your shows, like what is your show? What is it that your show's doing? Like what is it the thing that you're passionate about? That's a tourable show. So I just wanted to tack that on at the end too. All great. Any other thoughts or questions on that? Great. What does leadership see as the most pressing challenges for Kickstand in the next few years? How can the community help? I feel like we've kind of gone over this. Money. But is there anything else that we need to talk on that? Cool. We'll keep it going. Does leadership anticipate offering a wider range of classes in the future, such as a broader selection of classes for those interested in sketch writing? I would love a little bit more information because we definitely wanted to have broader classes. We have a lot of sketch classes, but we'd love to know if there's a sketch class that you want to take. If there's something that you, or I'll pass it to Kristen. You got some?
No, I just want to say we've tried to offer and expand the range of things we're offering. We've offered clowning and physical comedy, and we're bringing workshops here that reflect that kind of thing. It's sort of a lovely complement to what we do here at Kickstand. I have also tried to put up acting classes. They have not enrolled, but this is an amazing tool for people who want to expand their improv performance. And potentially, we're looking at some storytelling coming to Kickstand in some classes. So yeah, if you have an idea for a class that you would love to see here, please let me know. I think Kickstand should be doing anything and everything that their students are interested in exploring in the universe of comedy and performance. So, yeah.
I kind of have a question for y'all about, so like, obviously we all have our interests and passions and things. What is the best way, like, for us to hear what you want to study? Like, I feel like we'll throw out classes and say, hey, do you guys want to do acting? Do you want to try this? Is there something we're not doing that would be helpful for hearing you, basically? Surveys? Cool.
So Abby says we throw out student feedback, which thank you, Abby. Abby, people do please fill those out. They really do help us. But yeah, maybe one of the questions could be like, what are you interested in studying? Yeah, because if I get 20 people answering, I'd love to study improvised. Anything. We'll try to put that up. We do have some classes that we haven't offered recently. Expansion. Sergio's doing a class on the monoscene. Sign up for it. People aren't signing up for it, and it's going to be an amazing class. So yeah.
All right, Michael, you want to take what's the future of Sketch Coven and Sketch in general at Kickstand, and I'll give it to Paul as well.
Yeah, future Sketch Coven is that I am burnt out and don't have the capacity to keep doing it. If anyone wants to take it over, great. I haven't made this announcement yet, but yeah, I just... so I'm doing it now. Hot breaking news.
What? That's new.
Paul,
That's new to me.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Paul about it yet.
Okay. It's on my plate. Who wants to join me running Sketch Coven? Raise your hand.
Yeah, there you go. No, it's just it's a lot. It's another thing to coordinate. I love it. I'd love doing it. It doesn't feel sustainable to me right now. But if people, my goals with it were to get people to come out, meet each other, start riding together. We did that for a while. Our attendance was dropping off. Partially my fault for not promoting it very much, but if that's something you're really into and want to get like a writers group together, we can talk to us and we can talk about maybe facilitating a regular space at the theater that could go on like during class time or something when there's staff already here. That's an option. If it's guidance you're looking for sketch writing, you can still reach out to me or Paul or anyone else in the sketch community about coaching or other opportunities. I think Sketch Coven in its current form is just not. It was kind of missing the mark.
And this is the life cycle of development stuff, right? If you want to take it over, that would be awesome. Keep it going. If there's something that we've done that you want to bring back, let's do it. Like, take some ownership over passing this torch forward, and some things are just going to burn out, and some things are going to keep shining bright.
And I'll let Paul talk about sketch in general at Kickstand.
Well, we have 3 levels, 1, 2, and 3. We did our first level 3, and then they put up a show. The people that took the class, there was 11. They had each person in the class had their own sketch in the show, and then they acted in it. And there was 37 roles that we had to figure out and play. And I directed the show, and I had a blast. And they did it here twice, and it sold out both nights. And then when we did Sketch Coven the first time, a lot of you were in here that did the original Sketch Coven show. That was Echo Theater. We had 2 shows, and we sold out that theater of 150 seats twice. So 300 seats at Echo, and then here 75 and 60. So we had almost, let's do the math, almost 500 people come see Sketch from you. That's fantastic. So I want to keep the sketch program going. I would definitely want to have 1, 2, and 3. I am teaching advanced sketch in next month. I'm going to continue to do that because I love it and I enjoy it. And any ideas you have for sketch, talk to us, talk to me. Let's figure out what else we can do. I think we need sketch teams personally. I think we need sketch duos. I think we need to have opportunities where even if it's like a half-hour show and you try up a couple sketches before the 7 o'clock show or 7:30 show, we should figure out ways to do that, right?
Oh yeah, clap for this man. I was just going to say in general, I think we've touched on this before, but I really like to move in the direction of calling this a comedy theater, not an improv theater.
Yeah. I mean, I love that it says, improv, stand-up, sketch, weird. That's what needs to be on our stages. Yeah. Improv's great, but we need to bring everything in. Yeah.
Love it. All right. This was a great question, and the TLDR is basically a community member had a friend come who was in a wheelchair, and it was inconvenient for if they didn't have a friend with them, it would have been really hard for them, even though we are ADA. And we'll take full ownership and acknowledgement of this. This was just not us training our volunteers correctly. So we had a great suggestion of maybe putting it as an option as when you buy tickets to say if you have an ADA need, so that we can be prepared for it before you get here. But yeah, we're really sorry that this happened, and we really appreciate you reaching out with this question. Was there anything else that?
I was just going to say, yeah, we just need to let the volunteers know that, you know, how we usually do it is ask that person where they'd like to sit and then remove the chair so they can sit there.
Yeah, and we'll make sure to reinforce that with volunteers. And going forward, I think this is a great suggestion. Did this feel like that answered that question?
I was just going to say the fourth wall ticketing thing will also make it easier to add if you need ADA help.
Awesome. Cool. Do you offer scholarships or plan to? We do. We have the most robust comedy scholarship program in the country. We hope to get obviously, let's keep getting the word out about it. It's there. Let's use it. We have some great scholarship opportunities. We also have 2 memorial scholarship opportunities. The Divine Comedy Scholarship, Marilyn Divine. Give it up for Marilyn, who is an amazing community member forever. And we have our Jeff Kelsey Memorial Scholarship as well. Give it up for Jeff and that scholarship. So, yeah, please continue to get the word out. Can Kickstand provide a clear and transparent system for moving through classes, expectations of performance, access to stage time, making it a system everyone understands how to engage with and move through, and reduce levels of personal bias or appearance of such due to a lack of clear understanding? Including maps to coaching, teaching, communication is open, not just in the moment, but staying fluid. Examples with performing, willingness to adjust lights, some kind of rubber mats or padding on the floor for folks who are older or have injuries, and the concrete floors, and other needs as they arise, and figure out consistent communication. Why are some people left off communications and only get some information? We would love to improve this. Paul is going to be helping us audit all of our systems so that we can move forward with better communication, transparent communication, and we really commit ourselves to doing better with that. Yeah, I would love, and if there's any specific thing, please know we're open and to reach out, and we want to make sure that you're heard. Is Holy Shit planning on coming back? Yes. They'll be here for our 10-year anniversary. All right. Oh, yes. So we have shows here, and the big shows are at Clinton Street Theater, so we can pack even more folks in there to get the celebration going. And we're going to have parties here, and it's just going to be a really fun week of celebrating. So save up your party energy bar. It's going to be quite a week.
And Dylan, I think the holy shit question opened. I think it's also like we were bringing a lot of visiting artists early on, and we kind of found ourselves in a position where that wasn't financially viable.
Yeah, we slowed down because of budgeting. We are still in the process of getting our kind of real clear budgeting on if the programming department can start to say, here's how much money we have to spend to bring artists here, and we can hear from our community who we'd like to bring out. It'll be very easy for us to make smart decisions. We've just been on a freeze until we can get a better sense of the budget.
Also, last town hall, someone said, "Why does holy shit come all the time?" So I just want to point that out, right? Like, we're not going to be able to please all the people all the time with the choices. Yeah, watch the video. And somebody's like, "We're bringing all these people from LA. What are we doing here?" So yeah, there is a balance to strike, and I love that. I love that. We're going to find it together, and thank you. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you all. We are at 8 o'clock, which means we have 30 minutes for community questions or discussion. So how it'll happen, you can raise your hand if you have something that we haven't covered, and then we can talk about it.
Yes, we should make that happen.
Awesome. Any other questions? Yeah.
Follow-up to that, Kristen, you mentioned that there were some classes that were struggling to get enrollment. I think it would be really cool if there was a way for people to say, "I would love to take this class, but I can't fit it in my schedules," just so that you know, like, maybe to bring that one back next round.
Sure. Yeah. If you have any ideas about how I could track something like that, that would be super helpful to me, because my brain is going like, how? But it doesn't mean there's not an answer to that. So yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Cool. Any other questions? Yeah, in the back. Ryan.
Maybe less a question, more just a piece of feedback. With the last round of auditions, I personally felt like it was pretty hard to read the response. Like, it felt like either you got cast or you didn't, and if you didn't get cast, that's all the feedback you received. You know what I'm saying? I know that there was something about like you can ask for personal feedback. I guess what I would have preferred is something like a rubric, like what types of things are being looked for in the auditions, if that makes sense.
Ryan, that falls squarely on my shoulders. We had documented like some feedback for people. I was given the stacks of paper, and I was supposed to be the one who responded to that. It just didn't happen, but I do think people deserve feedback on their auditions, and I want to make that process easier for you guys and also for the audition panel to give really good feedback. That one really lands with me. So I apologize and thank you for that. It's a good encouragement.
And I'll just add, Michael in the booth again. We do have that was on the audition form, like what we're looking for from performers. I can't remember exactly what it says, but just kind of outlines our style of play and the things we specifically look for. Like listening. Can you frame the game of the scene? Those kind of things. There's a whole list of them. We also scored people based on like what they were interested in doing, which we might be making adjustments to that in the audition process this time. But so a lot of that was just like, what's a good fit for people? And, we tried to clearly define that in the descriptions of the opportunities. For example, Herald skill teams are for people who want to be on a Herald team, drill those skills. And so we're going to evaluate people on a different rubric than if we're doing Friday show runs where it's, we have a certain level and that's kind of more director driven. So there's a few different factors there. We offer a lot of opportunities from our auditions. You go to other theaters, it's like, yeah, you can be on our Herald teams or nothing, and that's it. Otherwise, see you later. So we really try to offer as many opportunities as we can, and it is a lot of work. So I understand where you're coming from, and we will continue to improve putting that information out there and getting feedback out.
I just want to say that your time's valuable, and you came out and you auditioned. So if we can try to give you feedback, that needs to happen. Okay.
Yeah, totally agree. And Ryan and anyone else who wants to take a look at the rubric on the audition form, let us know if it's not clear. Let us know if there's other things we can improve to make that seem cleaner or understandable. And yeah, thank you for that. And then yes. Yeah, right now we're Thursday through Sunday with shows, and yeah, it's a puzzle a little bit, right? We have, throughout our time, we've had shows on weeknights, we've had shows after classes, we've been playing around with different things. I don't know if we'll be able to do a show every night, and I don't know if Portland has the capacity to support a show every night. I think if we keep growing, that's going to happen. But we're pretty open with the schedule as long as the puzzle fits, right? We need to... Classes are the backbone of our finances. So if we just have to kind of look at the numbers to be like, well, does having 3 classes in here and 2 over there beat having no classes in here, a show, and a a class over there and over there. So we just kind of have to keep playing around with that and looking at the numbers a little bit. Paul, was there anything else?
Yeah, I just think we have to look at the programming. I do think we are a Thursday through Sunday theater, but I think we have to look at the hours. Like, are we 7, 8:30? Can we, support a late night show? What is that late night show? I think there should be a Sunday brunch show in here, personally. All right. So what that is, whether it's a comedy show, whether it's a podcast, where it's something where we can utilize the space on Sundays, is something that I suggested or looking at. So those are ways.
And I cannot stress enough how firmly I believe Portland is ready for late night shows. We just need the right shows. I think that it's just like finding the thing. There's gonna be the show that connects with Portland. We've already had several of them happen, but like these 10 o'clock spots are open right now a lot of Fridays. And if you have an idea, it could be the next big Portland show. So,
and if you have an idea and you want to talk about it, you should talk to us about it, right? There's a hook that you need, or what type of show it is, or what type of audience you want to go after. Let's talk about it and find that audience, right?
Awesome. Great question. Yeah.
I was gonna say for auditions, we should digitally. The people who are watching auditions, maybe we could have digital forms.
We're going back to digital.
But I also have a question. What are the opportunities for improv duos right now?
Right now we have a great show that Bradford and Tim are doing called The Do-Over. And then Michael has been doing off and on duets with Sergio at the Jazz Guys. But we're still open to other. There's no reason we can't have multiple duo shows.
Are both of those monthly shows?
One is on a pilot, I believe, Michael.
Yeah, Do-Over's going to be every other month starting December. If you're interested in that show, reach out to Tim and Bradford. Duets is a little less regular. I think what you're getting at is we've said 3 or more for Big Dogs and all that, and that was, somewhere we're willing to revisit. It's a question of, we've had a lot of pressure to give a lot more, spread out the stage time, right? So a duo, while a legit form of improv and something we all love, it's that space that could be a larger team, getting more opportunities. So we're still figuring out what that balance is. But yeah, if you want to do another duo show and want to pitch that, let's.
Yeah, and we'll make sure that everyone is communicated before the next audition round on duos in Big Dogs and Velodrome, etc. Yeah. Cool. Any others? Yeah. That's great feedback and feedback we've received, or some versions of it. We are right now really looking at Secret Aardvark adjustments. We have a couple things. Team size we're looking at. We're looking at maybe having set teams for a couple weeks. We're looking at how do we honor what Secret Aardvark's goals are, which is getting people in the community to meet, getting to play with someone you've never met, getting people younger on their improv journey performing with people who are more experienced. But we want to make sure the show is still awesome and that it's at a level where people are paying a ticket price and getting a great show. And we also want to make sure it's worth your time, right, as a performer. So these are great questions. We're thinking about a couple different things, and we might end up throwing a feedback form out to current and former aardvarkers to figure out some ways to keep improving it. Because, it's gone through iterations, right? It's a really long-running show. We've had years where that show has just been one of the hottest improv shows ever in Portland. We've had months where it's felt like a really great community builder. So it served a lot of purposes, and the goal is, can we find the right balance, and getting feedback like that is really valuable.
I just want to piggyback on that. I love Secret Aardvark. It was wild back in the day. It's still wild today. I'm 85 years old. Anyway, sorry, that was ageist. What was I gonna say? It come to me, brain. Oh, let's just make sure that we're getting everybody out there. I know sometimes when we're seasoned performers, we're having a good time. It's awesome, but I'm still seeing people left on the wall. So it's our job to get everybody out there on stage and make sure everybody's feeling heard. I always describe it in my classes like twinkle lights. You know, one light goes on, one light shuts off. So let's make sure we're doing that.
Love it. Awesome. Any other questions? Yes.
We're still not.
Well, yeah, it's a priority of the board, and one of the other reasons now is a good time for me to transition is my salary coming off can help us be a lot more creative with the next couple months as we kind of figure out how to do it and bring it back. But it's I would say Matthew, I think, listed it, our board president, as one of the highest priorities of the next 3 months.
Yeah, I said that like they're not thinking about it. Yeah, no, they have a plan and they're looking at the budget and making sure there's like a timeline for it.
Lily.
At some point, will upper level classes be? I can't find the word. Not like audition phases, but I mean, will there be like? Words are failing me now. Yeah, prerequisite. Thank you. Yeah, I mean.
Oh, prerequisite for auditions? Do you mean?
No, I mean like you're not gonna take a level 4 unless you're invited to take a level 4 or something like that.
Oh, right. Like, yeah. So, like, just demonstrating competency in some of the concepts. Yeah, it's a long road to really get there. But that's definitely something I want to steer towards in a way that feels good for our students and for our instructors, because if we can go a route of accreditation with our training center, I think we can get a lot of more support for it. Yeah. I think at every level, you're going to find different levels of experience with improvisation. Some people come in and take our level 1 classes who have been improvising for, 20 plus years. And the level 1 students looking like at their neighbor who has that experience and is like, what? How? Right? And, some people just their brains work differently. Maybe they have a great grasp of the concepts, but in that class, they're just, they play a little bit differently than everybody else. And I love that. Part of the challenge of improv is collaboration across the board, and working with all different types of experience levels, because no one has the experience doing that scene, right? Like, so it's an interesting thing. What you do want to feel like is that in a class, you're working with people who are ready to work on the concepts that class is exploring. And I think our teachers can, really help support students in getting ready to learn those concepts. And if somebody's struggling, we offer pay what you want retakes. Don't ever feel like you have to just like jump up to the next level because everybody else is doing that. And it's great to be with your friends, but like you can retake a class and, don't stop learning. So the day of a class, if there's still spots open, you can pay what you want to retake that class. So retake a level 2, retake a level 3, retake a level 1. Like seriously, get in the mix with students who are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed about this form and rediscover the joy of like finding out about improv again. That was a long, yeah. Thank you.
No, that was great. We have about 10 minutes, so maybe we have time for 2 to 3 more questions, if there are any. Awesome. Anything else anyone up here wants to speak to? Great. Awesome. Love it. Heck yeah. Yeah. Thank you all for really just being the lifeblood of this place. Thank you for giving us 2 hours tonight to get through all of this. We're going to have a social hour for the next 30 to 45 minutes. Bar's open. We've got snacks. We'll be mingling. We'll be chatting. And Kristen has something to ask.
More over and away days, I have some videos set up if you want to come talk about Kickstand. Like I mentioned before, we have 10 questions. You can pick which question you'd like to answer. And fair warning, we may use that on social media. So if you don't think you're ready for that tonight, that's okay. And we'd love to have you share some of your thoughts about this amazing community. And I just want to say how grateful I've been. I've felt to be a part of it. Thanks to Dylan and to Paul. I'm so excited. And to everybody here. Yeah. Anybody else want to say anything?
Well, my friend, it's been a long, crazy journey. Dylan and I have been doing this for a long fucking time. We were partners in business, we were partners in life, and now we're partners in crime. I love you. Sometimes I want to murder you. You're my family.
All right. Hang out, get the word out, get these rumors started. And, we're here, so hang out. Keep